Hi, I'm Rhino James. By trade, I'm a professional bounty hunter, and today I'm having to take the time to change a battery in my wife's 2010 Kia Soul. Now, I thought this would be an easy chore because taking a battery in and out and replacement has never really been a problem for most vehicles. But the 2010 Kia Soul seems to have a lot of issues as to even releasing the battery from the body, from the frame. I did some research on the internet, couldn't find a single video or anybody to suggest how to take this battery out. I have a brand new battery waiting to be put in, and I just need to get the old one out. And I'm going to take that time to do it now, and I'm going to show you the steps as I uncover them, so that way you can do the same thing at home, because it's ridiculous to not even be able to change your own battery. So we're going to turn around here and we're going to look at the car, the battery proximity, and we're going to do some steps and see how far we get. Okay, now first thing we need to do is there's a nut here. Now I've already loosened it, and it comes off of this right here. There's that frame that holds onto there, and I'm guessing that that's got to come off. So you remove that. I'll find out exactly what size that is. Okay. What this is actually a 12 millimeter. Don't know if you can see that, but it's a 12 millimeter socket or a wrench, and it fits this thing perfectly. So it's what you can use to take it off. The next key is taking off the cables, the terminals. I don't think these are 12s. Nope, they're probably 10s. Okay, now here's a 10 millimeter, and I'm guessing that it's going to fit. It does fit. It's a 10 millimeter, and I'm no Hercules, but I've already pre-loosened this with a wrench because I couldn't find my 10. But now that I've found it, and I've already got some corrosion on that terminal, I have cleaned it up. That's a 10 millimeter. Okay, now here's the weird part. Okay, this thing will not come up. So there's a cover that's on this, and I don't know, I guess it just lifts. Aha. Okay, so there's a big help. And I have a mirror that I'm going to use to see if I can find any kind of a clip. It's a mirror. It's on a pole. You can actually put it in your pocket, but I don't have a pocket it'll fit in other than pants. And I'm going to go down here and I'm going to look to see if there's anything that I can figure out that's holding this mirror, this battery in. But it is definitely not coming free. Now there's a keeper in the front. There's a lip on the battery, and there's an overhang that the lip fits under, and that holds the battery in the front. But how it holds it in the back, I don't know. So we will see. Okay, I guess I need to get my other tool. Which is a flashlight on the end of a stick. Here's another handy little tool. It's really nice. It's another performance tool. I bought it at a kind of like a Harbor Freight place, but it was independent in Tucson. You can use it. It extends. On the end is a magnet, and a light. So you can turn the light on by simply twisting it. Hopefully the light is strong enough and the battery's working. Well, my battery's not working, so that doesn't help. So it's back to the drawing board. So this doesn't come out, and that doesn't come out. I'm going to take this out of the way because I don't want to fight with it. Might help me to be able to see. Takes a Phillips screwdriver. Okay. Well, it doesn't help to take it out of the way by much. Make my own kind of a loop here with an old piece of electrical cord that's no longer any good. Okay, I tied it off. That helps somewhat. This does, if anything. All right. Well, because of this being so far down in there, I still can't quite reach it. Well, I'll just have to change out. Oh no. Yep, it's a 12. So it's a 12 down here, down behind it. Don't know that this is even going to take it off. Got some kind of a deal in there. Okay. Nothing else that maybe get rid of this thing that's in the way here. I don't know. There's no reason for this battery to not come out easier than this, other than it's engineered to make it difficult so that you will have to go in and have it done at the dealership. I'm going to put on some gloves. I'm tired of getting dirty already. Now this is the only vehicle that we have that's not diesel. And I keep these gloves for the sole purpose of keeping motor oil, grease, and whatever else off my hands so they don't look filthy and black all the time. Everything I've got is diesel except for this one car, and I'm hopefully going to change that soon. I want to get the wife a better vehicle, better in my opinion, diesel. Okay. There is one. And I'm going to get smart. And I'm going to use the little magnetic tray. So, take this, put it in there, and it's a magnetic tray. So if nothing else, it's supposed to go onto the body. There's just not much room in here for them, but okay. All right. Now then, that's all off or apart. If I'm going to be able to get this thing completely off. Again, I reiterate, this is, now there's a clip here. If you can see it, it gets pressed down one way or the other. At least I think it does. There it is. And that comes up like so, which I'm assuming this has got a clip in it. This one's got a clip. You pull them together. I don't know what this really does. Okay, it allows that one to come off. And then this one got a, oh. So what this does is this comes up and releases this, which is a lock. I don't know if you can see it, and it goes forward and locks in. This one's got the same thing. You pull this lever and it's got a lock back here. Of course it doesn't seem to, there we go. You have to wiggle it. So now this comes out. This is something important, I'm sure. Now then, I'm not seeing anything that actually looks like it's going to release this thing. A couple of leaves, which I want to get out of here right now. And there, that's what it was. So you have to release that electric part to be able to take the battery out. Congratulations. I always like to color coordinate, so since I'm using, I'm working on a green Kia Soul, I'm using a green rag for cleaning it up. Color coordination, fashion in the workplace. Okay, so with that in mind, actually it wouldn't hurt to let this thing get wiped down a little bit. I don't think I need to take the tray off. I could, but that seems to be a useless suggestion. And I'll let those drain down. So, in essence, So what have we actually learned today about taking a battery out of a 2010 Kia Soul and replacing it with a new battery? We learned that it's difficult. It takes a body strap and nut to come off. It takes the electric part, because this acts as a hindrance to removing the battery, and you got to take it off with that nut that goes to the body. And there's two bolts right here that come through, two studs that come through, and two nuts. You don't have to worry about any of this stuff. This is has nothing to do with it. When I bought the battery, I mentioned the fact that it looked to be very difficult, that I'd already tried to remove the old battery, and they said, oh yeah, it's got some clips that look like the battery and you have to look really close, it's built into the battery. Well, this is a factory battery right here. This battery is brand new from 2010. There's no clip or anything on this battery. Now there's this that's in the front, that lip, it's underneath the lip. There's nothing else that holds the battery. This is a sealed battery. I guess you could add water to it. It's not sealed. It's got a place for the water. I'm going to charge it again just to see if I can use it in the shop here. Just for when I'm tinkering. I filter vegetable oil and I use it in my diesels. I have for 12 years. They run great on it. I have no problems. Like I say, this is the gas model Kia Soul. I don't think they make a diesel, but we will replace this as soon as possible. We're still finishing up a move to Tucson, Arizona, so we've got a lot of stuff going on right now. I'm also going to be in a TV series. The title is just a working title at this point. I also am supposed to be on an episode of I Almost Got Away with It. I'm the bounty hunter, caught some fugitives. I have a lot of stories, and hopefully the production company Indigo Films is going to enjoy them, and we're going to put them on film for people to view it. They're true stories, every one of them, not one of them's made up. They're going to interview, they have to find the fugitives. I've already done my part, so I don't have to find them again. They're going to find the fugitives and interview them for this portion. Fugitives get paid. They're not fugitives really currently unless they have outstanding warrants. And then they're going to have me describe how we went about finding them, what happened when we went to make the arrest. There's some pretty hair-raising stories here. I hope they do find them, because I think it's going to make it very interesting for the viewer to see how we went about finding and locating people. But that's different realm and lifestyle altogether. That's what I generally do every day, full-time fugitive recovery. But now we're going to do the opposite steps, and we're going to replace this battery in my wife's car. So I have another battery that they claim is actually the same size. It's actually smaller. I'm not seeing it being the same size. The factory battery says it's a cold cranking amp of 550 amps. The new battery says that it's cold cranking amps of 600, with a cranking amps at 32 degrees Fahrenheit of 750 amps. I don't really care if it's a little smaller. It claims to be 600. That's 50 amps more than what the factory says. It also has a 5-year warranty, which is 3 years free, and this battery didn't last 3 years from the factory, and it's already gone out. So if we'd had this in there, we'd be getting a free battery now. This battery cost $112 total out the door. And that is at Walmart. I'm not a happy shopper at Walmart. They mistreated my mom as an employee many years ago, made her life a living hell. She retired with 20 years, realizes now she should have left it way sooner because the stress she's lost is incredible, and she's now a very happy person without that. But I bought it because I can get a battery there quick. It's got a 2-year prorate after the 3. So I think that's still a decent program. I don't know anybody else that has that. I could be wrong. But we're going to turn back around here and we're going to go back through the steps and replace this battery, and then I'll be done with it. Okay, now then, the main thing on doing a battery in any vehicle, of course, when you're doing it, is you want to be sure that the positive side, which is in a cap with red, is closest to the positive lead. The negative side, which is uncovered, is going to be closest to the negative cable, because if they're on the and at the rear of the battery, or you have to turn it around. If I had this battery and for some reason I had to put it in backwards, or if this was over here, it's not going to make it because this cable is only going to reach so far. And same with this, it will never reach the other side. So I made sure when I got the battery that the positive's on the right, negative's on the left. Or, that's to me looking forward as if I was driving the car. If you're looking at the battery from the front end of the car, looking into the driver's compartment on this side, your positive's on the left, your negative's on the right. There's a notice here that it's made in Mexico. Hecho en Mexico. I don't know if I like that idea. I like American-made products because I believe they last longer. But what can I say? I have a Mercedes station wagon that's a diesel. I love it. I have a Jetta wagon that's a diesel. I love it. Those are both German. I do have a Ford charter bus that's a diesel. I love it. And I have a second Ford charter bus that's actually now empty and becoming an RV, and it's diesel, and I love it. I got rid of my Isuzu Trooper turbo diesel. I loved it and hated it at the same time because I could never keep it running. And it had a 2.2 liter in it, and it was a nightmare. It would go through turbos right and left, and it would go through engines, crankshafts right and left. I never could figure it out. I finally sold it as a parts vehicle, and I let somebody else. Maybe it's just car didn't like me. Maybe it didn't like me. So we're going to put everything back just like it was. The battery has now been pushed forward. It's underneath that lip. It's kind of like a step. Battery, and there's a lip that's fixed, and you put the battery under, and this is going to hold it from coming up. Okay, I have the part. It's easy to know which way it goes simply because it's got this body strap that goes here, which I can put back, and there's there. Now I can feed these in. Both these bolts, 12 millimeters, and they go back. in the holes that they're supposed to. I don't know. This one's not wanting to thread right. I guess that's it. My little magnetic tray can go back in here. I definitely don't want to forget it and have it hanging in here for whatever. Now I got the 12 millimeter, and it's kind of tight to have a ratchet down in there, so I'm just using this. It's kind of like a miniature breaker bar, but it's a 3/8 drive. I will get it in here. Starting to get kind of tight. Okay, now it's a little better. Try to screw it in like a screw so it's quicker, and I'll tighten it. Well, I completely forgot. I do have one vehicle. It's not here right now. It's being serviced. It's a Ferrari. I bought it in Phoenix, Arizona. I paid cash for it. It's a beautiful vehicle. It's 5 years old. Yes, it's red. I'm having it serviced and gone through. I've driven it. It is beautiful. It is gas. So I forgot about that. That is the one luxury I afforded myself after becoming successful and getting into all this money. Money is a wonderful thing. It's definitely a necessary item. Okay, now before we go too crazy, we're going to come back and we're going to put everything back. The way it was. I'm going to dry this off. I'm going to put it back the way it was. Yes, this is correct. Okay, when it's fitting properly, it will actually close. Well, I'll tell you what, guess I better take this one back off and get this one on first, because it doesn't appear to want to fit with the other one on. Okay, this is the shorter of the attachments, so it's going to have to go on this side, but it's not wanting to go on. Don't know if... There it is. So you have to actually pull it further over, and there it goes. So now it's fit properly. This one's fit properly. They're both locked in here. This is the nut that goes down here and bolts on. It's a 12 as well. There it is, it's tight. Now, I'll pull the cap off. Won't. I'll put a little WD-40 on there. This is in essence really just fish oil. They always say to put the negative bead on last. At least that's the way I was taught. Don't know if that's really a true statement or not. So I will get the tool. Is this a 10 or is this a 12? It's a 10. And it doesn't want to come out. So get my little extension. Don't want to over tighten it, but you want to be sure it's tight enough. It's going to have good contact. My nickname is the Rhino, and that's because I tear everything up. So since we don't want that, I have to learn to back off a little bit, not be so tough. But, oh, nope, step back. Got an important step I overlooked. Important step is the battery cover. Use a different towel, rag, and I'm gonna wipe it out a little bit, get some of the dust off of it. Hopefully that'll make it a little nicer the next time. So, this goes down in the bottom. Also, I'm checking the battery and it is locked in tight as a drum. So that's good. So, okay. And it's going to have a little extra room to it because this is a smaller battery. I claim it be the same size, but it isn't. Now we go back to getting this thing secured. Okay, check it, it won't move. Lock the cover down. Same with this. That one's locked down. Okay, see if this fits. It does. So what I'll do is release it. Okay. I lined it up, take my cable out. I will tighten this down to a degree this way. That's probably plenty good, but I will tighten it. That way. The happy gloves come off. They're throwaways. I'll get the keys. Everything's done. I say it's all good. So in conclusion, I reversed the steps, put the battery back the way we took it out. It's kind of time consuming. It's going to wind up costing you, if you didn't know what you were doing, it's probably going to eat an hour because you're going to fidget with a bunch of stuff. But this way at least you can go to the straight items that need to be removed. I think that thing is called an ECU. I'm not sure, the electronic device. You can detach it, take the 3 bolts off that come off of it. That releases the back of the battery. When you do that, take the 2 cables off, your negative and your positive, put them aside. I moved the air intake only because that gave me a chance to look around it for the supposed clips that are built into the battery. I never found them. Then you can pull the battery up because then it comes out from underneath that shelf and that ledge. That releases it. And then you take the battery out, put your new one in, reverse the steps. Now your battery, you're good to go. And I hope that that helps you if you have a Kia Soul or any other kind of a Kia product where the battery might be very similarly removed. And didn't have anybody to show me how to do it, but I hope this really helps. Catch you on TV while I'm chasing fugitives, and I know you'll enjoy that. Have a good one. I am.